How Blake Lively threatened Taylor Swift with release of 10 years of intimate texts, unless singer told ugly lie. Read the message. Taylor Swift's decade-long friendship with Blake Lively finally imploded after the actress allegedly threatened to expose years of the superstar singer's most intimate secrets, unless she lied about Blake's Super Bowl snub in 2025, the Daily Mail can reveal. Lively, 37, who famously watched the 2024 Super Bowl alongside Swift from her now-husband Travis Kelce's VIP suite, was noticeably absent when the Kansas City Chiefs returned to the NFL championship game in New Orleans the following February. At the time, speculation of a falling out between the two best friends had reached fever pitch after Swift, 36, had been sensationally dragged into Lively's bitter legal battle, with It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Sources familiar with the fallout now tell the Daily Mail Lively was livid, and so humiliated by being left off the Super Bowl guest list, she allegedly demanded, through her legal team, that Swift make a social media post about how much she regretted that Blake couldn't join her to cheer on her boyfriend Travis.
Then I found Lulu Talks tea and everything shifted. Once I started drinking it, my mornings were ruined in the sense that they'd never be the same again. I began waking up feeling rested and energized, something I hadn't experienced in years. My new routine? Just 1 cup of Lulu Talks in the morning. On top of that, my menopause symptoms have eased significantly. I finally feel like myself again, strong, confident, and like a woman who's ready to take on the day.
Curious what makes it different? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/8.
The proposed message, insiders tell the Daily Mail, was intended to address Lively's unexplained absence and give the impression there was no rift between the pair, and would read along the lines of, "So sad my bestie couldn't come to the Super Bowl." And if Swift refused, went the thinly veiled threat. Lively possessed 10 years' worth of private text messages and conversations chronicling her high-profile failed romances and other personal moments she would release to the public. In 2024, Blake Lively was among Taylor Swift's crew that cheered on the Kansas City Chiefs from a jam-packed VIP suite at Allegiant Stadium during Super Bowl LVII. Taylor Swift returned to support her now-husband at the Super Bowl the following year, where her one-time bestie was noticeably absent. The new revelation sheds fresh light on the allegations that first surfaced during Lively and Baldoni's legal dispute last year, when the actor's attorney Brian Friedman alleged in filings to the court that Lively's lawyers had tried to pressure Swift into publicly siding with the actress. In a May 14 letter to Judge Louis J. Lemon Freeman asserted that a source who is highly likely to have reliable information told him that Lively's lawyers allegedly made extortionate threats to the law firm representing Swift, demanding the singer release a statement of support for Lively. It further alleged that Lively had intimated that, if Swift refused to do so, private text messages of a personal nature in Ms. Lively's possession would be released. Lively's lawyer, Michael Gottlieb, vehemently denied the allegations, saying, "This is categorically false. We unequivocally deny all of these so-called allegations, which are cowardly sourced to supposed anonymous sources, and completely untethered from reality." But Friedman then doubled down on the allegations by filing to the court a signed affidavit under the penalty of perjury to shed more light on his unnamed source and more details about the allegations. The bombshell allegations were included in a publicly filed affidavit by Friedman that was later withdrawn after the judge ruled it was improper and irrelevant to any issue before this court. The superstar singer was seen accompanied by rapper Ice Spice, Alana and Esthame, and Ashley Avignon, sparking speculation that she and Lively were on the outs. According to insiders, Lively's alleged Super Bowl ultimatum became the final straw, ending their decade-long relationship. It was the ultimate blow to their friendship, the source told the Daily Mail. The threat to expose Taylor's most intimate confidences, unless she posted something to explain why Blake was missing at the Super Bowl, was outrageous. A source close to Lively told the Daily Mail, Blake has never threatened to leak Taylor's personal or private text messages. Although Swift had repeatedly attempted to distance herself from the drama with Baldoni, she inevitably found herself subpoenaed for communications relating to the case by his lawyers. As the lawsuit escalated, the Daily Mail can now reveal Lively also asked Swift to delete the private messages exchanged between them, as noted in Freeman's affidavit. Sources say Lively was furious that she was not invited to Swift's VIP suite for the 2025 Super Bowl. Once BFFs, Lively's absence from the wedding illustrated the painful toll her legal battle with Justin Baldoni took on her friendship with Swift. Lively and Swift seen in 2023. Lively wanted Swift to release a statement expressing her support for the actress in her legal battle with Baldoni, filings revealed. According to The Insider, Lively's concern was that the texts would prove there was never any mention of any sexual improprieties by Baldoni, after she claimed to be a victim of sexual harassment. There was only her bitching about how much she hated Justin and wanting Taylor to come to her apartment to scare this dickhead director, the source told the Daily Mail. Ultimately, the Daily Mail revealed that person who provided the information about the alleged threats, first identified as a person very closely linked to Taylor Swift, was none other than the pop star's 74-year-old father Scott Swift, after becoming concerned his daughter was being pulled into the ugly legal war. Scott seemingly didn't take this alleged apparent attempt to extort his 35-year-old daughter lightly, and decided to take matters into his own hands by cooperating with Baldoni and Friedman in order to protect Swift from any further legal involvement. Taylor's dad, who has long managed many of her business affairs, voluntarily gave up this information as part of a deal that would include Baldoni's team withdrawing their subpoena for Taylor, sources said at the time. Friedman argued in court documents that their subpoena request aimed to obtain information relating to witness tampering and evidence spoliation, specifically that Lively had attempted to coerce Swift into publicly siding with her in her lawsuit against Baldoni. Scott Swift voluntarily gave up this information as part of a deal that would include Wayfarer withdrawing their subpoena for Taylor, the source explained. Swift's team then responded to Gossip Girl star Lively's inappropriate and apparently extortionate threats in at least one written communication sent to Gottlieb, according to the document. It is those communications that Baldoni's team seeks to obtain by way of subpoena, as they would evidence an attempt to intimidate and coerce a percipient witness in this litigation, the letter stated. The actress's lawyers later filed a motion asking the court to strike the accusations from its docket as baseless, unnecessary, improper, and abusive. The motion to dismiss the letter was granted. Months later, in October, a judge dismissed Baldoni's case, and in May of this year, after a judge dismissed most of Lively's claims, she finally agreed to settle the case with Baldoni, but later sued him for $8 million in legal fees. And any lingering hopes that the former besties would one day reconcile were dashed earlier this month, when Swift married NFL star boyfriend Travis Kelce in a lavish July 3 ceremony at Madison Square Garden. The bride and groom welcomed a star-studded guest list to the celebrations, which were officiated by Adam Sandler and featured performances from Stevie Nicks, Paul McCartney, and in a surprise for guests, the bride herself. Swift and Kelce wed in a blockbuster wedding that did not include Lively or her husband Ryan Reynolds. Swift and Kelce seen in 2026. Conspicuously absent, however, were Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, who for years had been among the couple's closest celebrity friends and were once considered fixtures in Swift's inner circle. Earlier this month, a source familiar with the situation told the Daily Mail Lively was devastated she was not invited. Lively is sad and a little bit *****ed. No, a lot *****ed, said the insider. That friendship was over before, but if there was hope, it's gone. They'll never be friends again. Rather than celebrating with Swift and hundreds of A-list guests in Manhattan, Lively spent the weekend hundreds of miles away in Lake Placid, New York, where she and Reynolds were photographed supporting their 6-year-old daughter Betty as she competed in a horse show.